Okay, so let's do Mon Roi, which is, I think, was up for the Palme d'Or at some Cannes film. I don't go to Cannes, so I'm not entirely sure. So the latest film by May Wen, French actress and director. It's a drama following a lengthy relationship between two middle-aged Parisians, and it's seen essentially the tale unfolds in flashback from the point of view of the woman who is recovering from a broken leg. We're told at the beginning that she has this leg injury and complications with the knee, and there is apparently something to do with knees that is somehow tied up with memories and being unable to move on from something in the past, which is something I didn't buy for 1 second. Then the film flashes back to this relationship of Vincent Cassel and Emmanuel Bacot, who are a restaurateur and a lawyer, respectively. They meet in a nightclub. She flicks water in his face, reminding him that years and years ago she had met him where he would do that to introduce himself to people to catch their eye. It was a sort of flirty technique that he used. So she's kind of got one over on him. He is this incredibly charismatic, incredibly hyper, incredibly manic character, not a million miles away from, let's say, Richard Gere in, is it Mr. Jones? Is that what that film is called? Yeah, the sort of Richard Gere sort of manic depressive movie, although this is just the sort of the charismatic manic side of it. He is somebody who is either incredibly charming or incredibly annoying, or probably both. She is swept off her feet by him. She's down to earth, but sort of swept off her feet by his almost immediate declarations of love, and their relationship then plays out in this hyperkinetic style in which we jump backwards and forwards around in time. He is overwhelming but also unbearable and manipulative and abusive. She is loving but untrusting. And the film has this kind of raw quality, like you do feel like you're right in the middle of a domestic row. And some people have taken very badly against it. Peter Bradshaw, who is a reviewer who I like very, very much, and I have to say his judgment is very good, said on this, he said it's an unendurable confection, shallow, narcissistic and fake. And I think that may be an adequate description of at least one of the characters in it. But it really made me start thinking about, we've discussed this quite a lot on the program, films which have characters who are not likable, whose company you find intolerable. Does that make the film unlikable and intolerable? And the honest answer to it was, I actually didn't find that, because I found that although he was an insufferable person to be around, I found his depiction of that insufferable person worked, and I believed in him and I believed in her. And oddly enough, although their relationship was completely, absolutely nerves exposed, everything on the outside, I did believe in them. Now, I can understand that might simply, alienate people. They might think this is just too overcranked and too full of itself and too pleased. I didn't feel that. What I felt was actually it was a portrayal of people I wouldn't want to spend more than 5 minutes in their company, but I believed in them while they were on screen. And more importantly, I believed in their relationship, and I believed in the way in which the relationship played out and the tensions and the ways in which it erupted and they would fall apart and fall back together again, that they had this destructive relationship that was also, as I said, abusive and deceitful and was to do with addiction and all these other things. And actually, I did find it quite engrossing. So I surprised myself, because I know other people who have reacted very much the other way, but I actually found myself being engaged in it, despite the fact that on the surface it looks like the kind of film that would really annoy me.